ladies and gentlemen, William Barr is threatening legal action on the governors in calling their stay-at-home policy disturbingly close to house arrest. This came out on ABC News, April 21st, 2020. You know what the problem I have with the people that claim, oh, you're fear mongering. Oh, you're doing this. The problem with all of you have yet to come up with a solution. Now, you want to complain about how something is presented, but you sure don't offer no solutions. And this is why I will continue not to listen to you. If y'all had the answer, we would have heard it by now. It's clear that you don't. Stay off of my channel with that, because I'm just going to block you and that's it. I'll get rid of you. And as far as William Barr is concerned, the last thing you should be during this time is political. Um, you know, Folks are not looking for a political solution to COVID-19. And I don't see how you can push people back into the economy when just a day ago you had 2,000 deaths overnight. Okay, so, they can miss me with all of this stuff about reopening and let's get everything open again with no solution. Telling people, oh, it's not that many people that's not consoling enough to get people out the front door. That's not doing anything. It's not even doing anything for you. So he's now threatening legal action on governors for going too far. So again, what should they do? If not this, then what? That's the problem with Trump and his administration and his supporters. So now, Attorney General Bill Barr, in a new interview on Tuesday, characterized some stay-at-home restrictions during the pandemic as disturbingly close to house arrest, and said the Justice Department will consider legal action if governors start to take restrictions on movement or civil liberties too far. Well, what's too far? What's too far? These are unprecedented burdens on civil liberties right now. The idea that you have to stay in your house is disturbingly close to house arrest, Barr told conservative radio host Hugh Hewitt. I'm not saying it wasn't justified. Then what are you saying? So you're saying all of these states that are locked down, they did this for a reason that was not good? I mean, what are you saying? This just sounds like a bunch of legal word salad here. I'm not saying in some places it might still be justified. Word salad. In the interview, Barr also lavished praise on Donald Trump's handling of the crisis. What, calling it a hoax in the beginning and then saying only 15 people in the country had it and it would be zero by next week? That's handling. Woo, he is definitely being a good lapdog right now. And cautioned the department would be watching governors who don't follow the latest federal guidance on phased reopenings for certain parts of the economy. I think the president's guidance has been, as I say, superb and very commonsensical. And I think a lot of governors are following that, Barr said. And to the extent that governors don't, um, impinge on either civil rights or on the national commerce or common market that we have here, then we'll have to address that. Trump has encouraged protest against stay at home restrictions in Michigan, Virginia, and Wisconsin, among other states, saying residents had been treated rough. Staying in your house is being treated rough. Then again, all the domestic violence that's coming out since everybody had to stay home. All right. Last week, the Justice Department filed a statement of interest in support of a Mississippi church whose members were fined after attending a drive-through church service, a penalty the department argued was imposed unfairly on the church versus other commercial activities that were occurring in the community. Now, I did see what a lot of these churches are turning to. They're turning to this thing called parking lot church, where they all just sit in parking spaces in their vehicles, and the pastor comes out and they got this podium set up, with a microphone. And while they're sitting in their cars in the parking lot, he's doing his sermon. And of course, they got to always find a way to get that collection plate around. I mean, the whole thing just looks so silly, but that's what they're resorting to now. Parking lot church. Mm-mm-mm. Barr said the DOJ will give similar considerations moving forward to weighing in on lawsuits brought by citizens who feel state and local governments are unfairly infringing on their civil liberties. If we think it's, justified, we will take a position. That's what we're doing now, Barr said. We're looking carefully at a number of these rules and are being put into place. And if we think one goes too far, we initially try to jawbone the governors into rolling them back or adjusting them. Barr likened the government's response moving forward to a battle against cancer, describing a stay-at-home orders as a kind of chemotherapy that will allow states to gain control of the virus spread. You are never gaining control over this thing. The question is, you can't just keep on feeding the patients chemotherapy and say, well, we're killing the cancer, because we're getting to the point where we're killing the patient, Barr said. So people sitting at their houses, that's killing them? Oh, wow. Okay. This comparison with cancer is actually ridiculous, but let's go on. And now is the time that we have to start looking ahead and adjusting to more targeted therapies. So, this is what he said in a recent interview with ABC News. First of all, there is no similarities in cancer and coronavirus. You're talking about something that's airborne, highly contagious, and it's not any cure for it. And it's very quick in spreading. With cancer, you don't spread cancer from one person to the next. So the comparison is silly, but you know what? It's probably common sense to those with high IQs. I can see how what he said, they're getting that, with those high IQs, that thinking is just you're just not going to figure out a high IQ person. So don't even try to do it. So I guess this is the kind of propaganda they're putting out. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing that more and more people believe these are paid protesters that are out there. They're being paid to be out there and make noise in the streets and do the things that they do. Now, I don't know how true it is, but I have been hearing the rumors now for probably the last 24 hours that there are people saying these are paid protesters. And this is stoking the flames to use this as leverage to get the country reopened. Although that group that's out there is very small in comparison to many protests that we have seen in the past. This one is exceptionally small. And we have seen them out there hooping and hollering with no protection on, standing shoulder to shoulder, no social distancing going on. And every time we see them do these acts, they always get it. Just give it another week or two, and you'll hear about some of the protesters out there having symptoms. It never fails. You know, never fails. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this latest threat coming from William Barr to sue the governors that have their states on lockdown. So, I mean, so you're saying that New York don't have a legitimate reason, New Jersey, Connecticut, because these are states with a lot of cases. So you're saying they shouldn't be locked down. They're taking it too far. And you said these things without even explain what an alternative would be if not the lockdown. Ladies and gentlemen, when this thing started kicking up again, because these folks went out there and put themselves at risk, we'll see what they say. But, we know how the media roll up in this place. See, if it is something that don't look good in your favor, you'll just not talk about it. So when they do get it, you may not hear a thing, ladies and gentlemen. Because they're not going to talk about anything that don't make them look good and a shining light, just like all of these deaths that we are seeing around the country, and an awful lot of them are not Black people. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this latest threat from William Barr. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.